Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of The Retake. I'm Rob4 and I'm joined by Get Right, and we're going to be discussing a few things such as Malmo, ESL Cologne, recent results, tournaments, Freiburg departing the team, as well as their sports psychologist. So first question I want to ask, might be a bit of a tricky one, but what's the atmosphere in the team like now Freiburg's departed and you've got two younger players in Draken and Rez?
It's pretty well. We have some problems, but we're not really having big problems. It's just more how do we facing different challenges inside of the game, etc. like that. I think it's just more like a kind of normal problem that every team has. There's not a, big in general problems that hurts the team or anything like that. We are just trying to get our head into the game, trying out maps, positioning, etc. what we really want to do. So we're still in that, so to say, learning phase, but not really. But we're getting there, and it's going well, if you ask me.
Okay, and Freiburg is quite a big character within the team. Has anyone kind of filled that role, or he was always upbeat, always happy? Has anyone kind of stepped in a bit in that sense?
No, we're emo all the time. Not really. I mean, it's kind of a big guy to take over, and a big role, so to say. So I don't know. I don't really know that anyone's been trying to do that. I don't know. It's kind of a way different atmosphere in general. Frederick Ress is a calm down. Draken is kind of a loud and big look at me guy, I guess, in a way. But it all goes well, at least, so it's fine.
And we all know Forrest is the joke, and Exis is kind of the he's pretty calm as well, actually. Probably the calmest of the bunch. Okay, how's motivation then, in the team? Two new players and performing pretty impressively recently. So is it increased, or is it still the same, but you've been working hard, so that's what's improved the results?
I don't think we really had a motivation problem before. We always had it, perfectly well and good enough. So I don't really see a big problem around that area. We're just trying out things. We just take one day at a time and try to become even better, and want to play as many tournaments as well. So motivation is still skyrocket, and we are aiming towards becoming even better than we are right now.
So that's good to hear. And I want to know from your opinion then, are roster changes always necessary when you're going through a slump? I mean, look at, for example, take VP. They've not even been performing on LAN so well, and usually people are like, okay, online that's understandable, it's VP, but now, would you say they should kind of consider it, go in the same footsteps as you, or?
I don't know, really. I don't really favor to do roster changes in general. But I guess it all depends on the situation, etc. I don't even know what their problem is and everything like that. It could be inside the team, outside the team, whatever. So I don't really want to speak about their problems and what I believe in, since I only think about and care about my team. That's it.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I'm talking of roster changes. Obviously, Draken and Rez are your kind of newer players. So how do you kind of see their performances are going, or what's your evaluation of their performances so far in NIP?
Draken, it feels like he always wants to perform to the absolute best. I think that he's been shining the most, I guess, through all of us. But I think that he needs to let loose a little bit, calm down a little bit, because it feels like sometimes his emotions can get too much of him. Okay. But in the same time, I think that he knows that himself, and he's going to learn it more and more each day. So I'm not really too worried about it, because he is that skillful. He's really good, but sometimes he's just, he gets frustrated when things doesn't go his own way. And I think that's a pretty easy and normal problem for most of the players out there. Yeah. So I'm not really worried about that. Rest, I think it's just you need to shape him up a little bit more. But I think he does really well still. I think he become even better. I don't think we have seen his final form yet. And I know that he's really, really hungry for even more. It felt like he was a little bit disappointed after Malmo, but he doesn't seem like a guy that think too much of it. He just take it, think about it a little bit, and then move on, and don't get too stuck into the moment. and that shines in him when he plays because. I wouldn't, like I said before, I wouldn't be surprised if he becomes our next, like, or the best player in our team eventually.
That's a very big credit to give to him. And I mean, I think we saw glimpses of his potential during Cologne. There were certain maps, well, Cash especially, where, well, the only maps, where, you know, he won games pretty much single-handedly, especially against Cloud9, you know. With the UMP, with the M4, he would just get multi-kill rounds and just basically bail you guys out when you're in a bad situation. So I feel like if he can keep doing that on a more consistent level, then, like you say, he will become a star player.
Yeah, I mean, some players just need time and get used to a new environment and everything like that. I don't think that's it's a long way still for him, but I think it would take some time, and I just hope that he will, you know, cool down a little bit and don't worry too much about it, because it doesn't seem on him that he's doing that, but you never know with young players. You never know what they're really thinking about, and I know that I've been there myself. A lot of us has been there himself. You know, we've been there, we've done that, and etc. etc. And we will see how it goes. You know, I like I said before, I wouldn't be surprised at least if he becomes our best player.
Well, we'll see how it goes, but also we'll talk about upcoming tournaments in a moment. So I guess we can elaborate on that in a bit. But before we get to them, I want to talk about recent events. And can you just kind of take us through recent events and recent results, offline results, more importantly?
Well, since we added Rest into the team, we went into SL1 Cologne. People were kind of mad, I guess, in a way, that we got invited to the tournament directly, since we haven't performed for a long time. And I don't think in our own like will and what we really want, we haven't really performed either. So we were kind of like happy in a way to get that chance, because then we can prove ourselves in a way. And I think we deliver a little bit more and show that we actually are a team to still be recognized, you know, to still can play well. And I don't think we were expecting that good a result. I think that we would have bumped them to the groups, but I think that we played really well. We learned a lot during the way with adding Renzi to the team, and it was just the beginning of it. So we were really happy to go into the playoffs. Same time, when you look at it afterwards, I think every one of us is kind of pissed though that we lost against Cloud9, since we felt like we threw the game out. But in the same time, Cloud9 went to the finals. They played well in general. You know, you can't really, you know, talk too much about it. They play really well.
Can't discredit yourselves, because you played well, but they got to like you said, they got to the finals and surpassed everybody's expectations.
Yeah, I don't think anyone would expect us to go to playoffs. So that's a good thing for us. You know, there was a motivation boost for everyone in the team because of the last result before that. After that, we went to DreamHack Valencia. We felt, you know, it was kind of short. You know, it was just a couple of days after, like 4 or 5 days after the event. So we knew how good we were. We didn't really practice that much because it was too close to the event. But we know that we had a big chance to win the tournament, but I don't like to, you know, go in to say we're gonna win this one 100%. I don't go with that motto anymore. I don't feel it's it always feels like it's something that you're gonna be angry with if you lose the tournament, and you get too stuck with it.
Okay.
But we eventually won the tournament. We felt nice. It was nice to Rest and Rick to finally win something with us. And I mean, Rest second tournament with us, but at least with Draken has been there a little bit longer. So it was nice, you know, winning that tournament. I don't think it was that big of a stacked tournament though. So the result itself is kind of so-so. I think that's kind of harsh word to say, but so-so. But we won pretty much over the best team, so we were there. Sadly, we didn't play the Danish guys, but yeah, they are struggling at the moment. So I guess that's one of the factors for why it didn't, you know, go that well in those tournaments for them at least. But we won it. Super happy with it. Vacation went after that. Taking it easy. We came back here. We had Malmo. We came to the semifinal here. Lost to eventually the winners G2. I think every one of us were super happy with the result, because it went even better than Cologne, for example. We saw improvements in general, and we're very surprised. Not really surprised. Remember that word, surprised. We're just satisfied with that when you think about it afterwards. But we're still very pissed that we lost to G2. mostly because we felt we could have won cash and we made it to the third one.
Yeah.
But looking in general, and you should look at the trend for the team right now, it just looks positive, and it's a good thing for us. And we just need to keep our heads up and just be thinking positive all the time we were playing, because sometimes we're gonna hit a big rock on the way, and we just need to be knowing how to handle that. So I don't think we need to be too satisfied, too happy, or too negative about results that's coming up. We just need to be having our heads up and just look forward every time we have a new tournament coming up, and hopefully snatch a win over in somewhere during the line.
And Malmo, I mean, semi-finals placing is pretty impressive, and the quarter-final must have been a super good experience. I mean, I don't know what I wouldn't have liked to be in your position in the quarter-final. That must have been tense. The TS comms must have been stressful, but also, I mean, it's a good experience for Rez and Draken, because I mean, you, Forest and Exist have had those experiences before, those comebacks, those really tough times, but Rez and Draken haven't really had that on a stage like this. So that must be, like, just that part alone from Malmo is worth the whole event, you know, that experience they've gained. Okay, so we've talked about improvements in the team, but I want to talk about your improvement. The past 3 months, you've had a 1.21 rating on LAN, and all your ratings have been above 1.15, and you're the second best performing player on NIP in the past 3 months on LAN, behind Draken and just above Forest. So, I mean, can you explain how you've kind of not improved, but you've kind of recaptured a bit of your old form, if you know what I mean? There was a bit of a dip, and now you're kind of back. So what have you gone through? You know, have you been training harder? Have you? I mean, I guess the best thing is you explain what's been happening.
The secret is nothing. Nothing really. It's just I don't know, to be honest. I don't really have a reason or answer or anything for it. It just became better, I guess. I don't know. Maybe other players became worse. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. I just think that the right amount of training I have done with the team and etc. outside, I guess it's been finally paid off, and I mean having more of a positive attitude towards the game, etc. To be honest, I don't know. It's very hard answer to answer.
Yeah.
I can't really say anything.
Then I'll phrase it like this: do you think you're always capable of those performances, but you just need the right stage to show it, and maybe the right players around you to show it, and maybe you have Draken and Rez. Do they help you, you know, show the performances you're capable of?
Not really. I think that they're just, you know, I guess they're helping down the line, I guess, since they're so skillful and good. And I guess they're opening up more space for me to play inside of the game. I don't know, really, to be honest, still. Like, I don't really have any answers for it, to be honest. I guess maybe I'm feeling just much more happier and better and etc. in general. So, and I mean, CS is a game that you need to be having, you know, the right side of mindset towards playing. You can't be mad or, you know, bitching and whiny and etc. like when you're playing. And I guess that's about it.
Fair enough. I mean, we all know that you're always capable of insane performances, but it's always good to see it happen, because the previous events before the past 3 months weren't your best, but now it looks like, you know, you're back there, which is great for NIP fans and great for CS in general. Okay, moving away from results and performances, then I want to talk about the Sports Psychologist. Obviously, it's been there for a month now, or 2 weeks, or how long?
Since Malmo, I guess.
okay, no, how long, but
so 2 weeks, I guess, tops. I don't know, really. I can't really talk too much about it because we haven't really used them that much. I think it's a cool thing to be added into the team. I think it could help a lot of problems. I think a lot of personal problems as well that people can have. But at the same time, I can't really talk too much either about it, because then I would probably just sit here and lie about it, because I met him one face to face one time, and the rest of the time when we were at the Malmo. So I know that he's gonna come with us this weekend and also go to with us to Atlanta. So I guess that's where we can at least have a feeling how things are going and how he's handling his work. So I think it's just a good add-in to the team at least.
Fair enough. And I mean, you'll probably learn more as more events come along. And you said Atlanta, so that's E-League. Who would you say is the biggest threat in your group? Obviously, you've got C9, VP, and Envy.
All three.
All three.
But I think that this group is kind of a group that has all four teams want to prove themselves. So this group, I think, to be honest, this group is probably the hardest one of all the groups. All the other groups are probably more stacked, good teams, etc., top world 5, blah, 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 etc., teams that people can talk about. But this group is more of a group of teams that want to show the world that they're still here and actually can do. Yeah, they're very hungry. So I think this is actually the hardest group to be in, which is interesting because if we can go up with put a good up fight and win or come out of the group and actually go to the players, I think it's a good sign for us as well. So
sure.
I just wanted to be at E-League now so I can show the world who we are again.
Yeah, and qualify for the playoffs and the next stage of it. Okay, and IEM Oakland, did you expect to get the invite? I mean, you tweeted like, oh, it's about time you got the invite. But so did you know it was coming? Did you expect it? Or were you just really hoping for it?
To be honest, I don't know which answer I should give. Should I give like the real answer or the fake answer? I mean, the real answer is more like this. We already got invited months ago, so that's more like why it wasn't official.
Well, that's what your tweet was about. Okay. You must have been dying to announce that you.
Not really. I don't understand why it wasn't official. That's more. I guess it was just more like they probably could have revoked it and see we haven't made any process or anything like that. I guess it was more like that.
I'd hope it isn't that, because I mean, if once you've sent an invite to a team and they've said yes, you can't be like, nope.
No, I haven't heard any team has happened that to before, but or I don't know, maybe it's not official or anything like that, about it, but it was just more like I know that we got invited. It's just more it wasn't official news. That's it.
Okay, fair enough. Okay then, which event are you looking most forward to, and do you have any personal ambitions or team ambitions? Or I spoke to Fred about it. He said you don't set out like goals and stuff like that. Maybe at the beginning of the year he says maybe let's try go for this many tournaments, let's try place this. So maybe which tournament are you most looking forward to?
Since we failed to actually make DreamHack Malmo winning again, I guess it's IEM Oakland next. I would say it's a goal for. I'm not going to say really a place, but I guess you can figure out what place I want to aim for then. But I don't know, any tournament that comes up, I just want to play tournament, have a good time and just like, make our fans proud again. That's it. It's more like that nowadays for me. Instead of saying I'm here to win all single tournaments, I'm just here to be making myself satisfied and also the fans satisfied. But for those people who know who I am and what I stand for, everything like that, they know why I'm saying this and what my real goal is for every one of those tournaments. So I'm not standing out like one of those young kids like I were once and say I want to go everywhere and win all of them all at once directly, straight up, because it could happen and it could be, could happen to any team, etc. But at the same time, I just want to make myself happy, my team and my fans happy. That's about it.
Okay. And talking to your fans, we sent out a tweet earlier asking them to submit their questions. So I guess this is a good segue into answering their questions. And this is kind of closing out the interview now. Okay, so what's your saddest CS:GO moment?
Losing a major spot in 2016 to Flipside, not Hellraiser, it's Flipside. And the worst one was probably after that to the E-League qualifier, major qualifier, to go up in that one. It was too hard, annoying losses in a row, and the one most important to my heart. So it was really painful and hard, and it was very difficult to go over that one or those two. But I'm sitting here still, right?
Yeah.
So that's a good sign, I guess.
Bouncing back for sure. What's your thoughts on lurking, and has it changed over the years, or has it got more dynamic?
Well, happy lurking is not really working out, right? So it's more like you have to find a mixture of being passive, aggressive, defensive, all of those kind of shit together. So it's way different what it was many years ago and before that. So I don't really have an answer for it because I don't feel I have still figured out fully yet. Okay. I feel that I'm on the way, and I think I'm doing it still better than most of the other players are doing it out there. But in the same time, I know I can become even better, and that's why I always strive to become even better in general anyway. So we will see. Maybe someone is coming up with an even better thing, and then they are gonna be the king. So we will see.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a decent answer. Most people think lurking is happy style of lurking, where it's always backstabbing, or the kind of you in 2013, 2014 style. But I mean, you said yourself it's changed, and you've got to mix it up with passive aggression and stuff like that. Okay, 2 last questions then. How does it feel to be such a CS legend?
I don't really see myself as a legend at all. I just see that a guy that loves playing computer games and habits at work. And during the line, I got a lot of fans, which amazes me every day, and it's something I don't take for granted. It's very hard to make everyone satisfied and happy, but I try my best, and I hope sometimes I can make everyone happy. But I know that I will never make everyone happy, but I try my best. So don't hate too much on me, please.
And I'm sure they won't. Okay, last question then. Most controversial thing you've seen at LAN or heard about at LAN? Maybe KNG recently. That's kind of. I mean, I don't want to talk about you too much about it. Maybe I'll be part of the list.
I don't know, to be honest. Well, I'll just say this one. This is more like a funny thing anyway. Well, it's probably when we were playing one of those ESEA LAN in Dallas, and we were out celebrating one of the owners' birthday, and then Fiffler played back in the team. He shouted out during the dinner after the happy birthday song, something during the live with, "Craig, I will," and then those 2 words, and everyone laughed out. There's on YouTube, people can just do it.
I was gonna say, I think I've seen it on YouTube.
Yeah, everyone has probably seen it. Some hasn't, but that's probably one of it. But I think it's more of a funny thing. It's not a bad thing, So yeah, I don't know, to be honest. I can't really come up with anything, straight up on my mind right now. I think
on the spot it's always difficult to think of like the most controversial thing, but nonetheless, I'll link the video probably in this in the below. I mean, I always say like I'll link videos below and then kind of just forget, but hopefully this time I'll remember. But yeah,
we can do like this. I will download an app on my phone, and then it will be like auto tweeting to you every day at a certain time and say, "Rob, you haven't fixed up the video."
Okay, perfect. If you remind me, then I'm gonna do it. Okay. Okay. Last question. I mean, that was the last question. So thank you for your time. And again, if people enjoy the video, subscribe. I mean, you did the pointy thing and whose frag is that, and I just didn't put the link there to your social media, but I think I put it below. Or I think everyone follows you anyway. So
yeah, but subscribe there.
Perfect.
To the Betway channel on YouTube for more content with Rob and NIP and what else more.
And hopefully some exciting stuff in the future. I mean, there will be. So subscribe. Peace. Bye.